World Cup 2022 Live, Brazil fears for Neymar. Hello again everyone and welcome into this Friday World Cup Live blog, as we bring you all the latest news from the tournament in Qatar. We'll have separate match blogs for all the World Cup games, while this live blog will be packed with all the latest news and storylines from the competition. If there are injuries, controversies, interviews or anything else of interest, we'll explain it here, while we'll also bring you the major headlines from Wales vs Iran, Qatar vs Senegal, Netherlands vs Ecuador and England vs USA. So, keep this tab open and enjoy Friday's World Cup action. 2022 World Cup live updates for Friday, November 25th. What's the latest with Neymar's injury? Neymar is expected to miss Brazil's next game against Switzerland, and he may sit out the final group game against Cameroon as well if Brazil are already through. Get all the latest on his injury status here. How serious is Neymar's injury? In the press conference following Brazil's victory over Serbia on Thursday, Tite assured that Neymar will continue in the World Cup after he came off as a substitute in the 80th minute and upon arriving at the bench covered his face with his shirt and burst into tears while being attended to by the national team's doctors. He's going to continue in the World Cup, you can have that certainty. He felt the pain during the game, but decided to continue. It should be highlighted, Tite said. There have been contradictory reports though, as we highlight here. This, then, is our daily World Cup Live blog, the space where we provide you with all the World Cup news. We're opening a new daily World Cup Live blog every day throughout the tournament, so that you know all the details and can enjoy the tournament fully. What are today's World Cup games? Today's World Cup fixtures are Wales vs Iran, Qatar vs Senegal, Netherlands vs Ecuador and England vs USA. Wales vs Iran is first up at 4 CT before Qatar vs Senegal at 7. Then there's Netherlands vs Ecuador at 10 and the day's last game comes at 13 with England vs USA. Neymar out for Brazil vs Switzerland and doubtful for Cameroon, but his World Cup is not over. As learned by MARCA, his presence in the last group match will depend on whether Brazil have qualified or not by then. Neymar doesn't have much luck with World Cups. Brazil's big star was injured in their opening game at the 2022 World Cup, in which he suffered serious treatment from Serbia's players to the point of having to ask for a substitution in the second half. Injured. An ankle problem will mean he will miss the second match of the group stage and makes him a serious doubt for the third. The doctor of the Brazilian national team, Rodrigo Lesmer, announced at the end of the game against the Serbians that Neymar suffered a sprained right ankle. He also asked for calm, since it would take 24 minutes 48 hours to know the extent of the injury. Along these lines, people within the players' close circles said that time was needed to understand the situation. Tite, on the other hand, chose to be very optimistic, assuring that his star man will continue in Doha, just like his teammates in the mixed zone, both in public and off the record, although on Thursday night he began treatment. This Friday will prove to be the key day to determine how the issue is really going. And things are not looking good. Neymar ruled out against Switzerland. As MARCA has learned, Neymar will not make it for Monday's match against Switzerland at 17, while his progress is being closely monitored. The idea at the moment is that he will not play in the third matchday against Cameroon on Friday at 20 if it is not necessary in terms of qualification. Sources close to Ney say that he has ruled out saying goodbye to the tournament. Tite, in any case, will have to rely on a deep roster. Rodrigo goes. Gabriel Jesus or Antony are the best placed to enter the XI. Fred or even Bruno Guimaraes could also come in, and Lucas Paqueta could be moved forward. Brazil's players are upset because they think Serbia went out to hurt Ney. This afternoon, the CBF is also expected to report on Neymar's condition. That may come during the training session, at 15 with the presence of family and friends, with whom a dinner will take place afterward. The media will be able to watch the entire session.